Are you struggling with asynchronous requests in Google Apps Script? It can be really frustrating when your code doesn't behave as expected. Today, we're going to tackle this issue head-on and find a solution together. I completely understand how annoying it is when your code relies on data that hasn't returned yet. You're not alone in this. Many developers face similar challenges when working with asynchronous functions. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user asked, "How can I wait for an async request to complete before using its result in Google Apps Script?" They shared their code, which attempts to use a property that isn't set yet. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this together. So what's happening here? When you make an asynchronous request, your code continues to run without waiting for the response. This can lead to situations where you try to access data that hasn't been set yet, causing errors or unexpected behavior. And stick around. I have a great tip at the end that will help you manage async requests more effectively in your scripts. To ensure that the property foo is set before proceeding, the user can modify the obj_stuff function to wait for the asynchronous request to complete. This can be done by using a callback function. Next, the user should update the thing constructor to accept a callback function as a parameter. This callback will be called once the async request has completed. Now, when the user creates a new instance of thing, they can provide a function that will execute after foo has been set. This ensures that the dependent code runs only after the async request is complete. Finally, the user should test the updated code to ensure that everything works as expected. They can do this by checking the console for the value of foobar.foo after the async request completes. Here's an updated version of your code. Notice how we moved the logic that uses foobar.foo into the createSuccess function. This guarantees that it only runs after the async request has completed. Fun fact, did you know that JavaScript was created in just 10 days? It's amazing how far it has come, but even the best languages have their quirks, like async behavior. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by a user is to utilize the events module in Node.js. This allows you to create an event listener that waits for the async request to complete before executing your code. The user also mentions that you can apply event-oriented development using Google Apps Event Objects, which can help manage async requests effectively. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always structure your async code to handle data only after it's been retrieved. This will save you from many headaches down the line. And there you have it. By adjusting your code to handle async requests properly, you can avoid those frustrating errors. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and remember to keep experimenting with your scripts.